It's time to jump into the luxury imports of Bowling Green Mercedes-Benz BMW Sports Webb with your host, Brian Webb. Also starring Danny the Limb Hartung, MLB Insider, brought to you by First Step Orthotics on the Bypass. WKU Sports Analysis with Garrett Browning, presented by Bowling Green Refrigeration, Heating, and Cooling. Also made possible by Poston Electronics. The one and only Vegas Frank Against the Odds, presented by JBK Network Consulting. Then free golf tips with WKU Women's Golf Coach in Gary on the Green. From Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill, your Green Egg headquarters. Spotlighting high school athletics with the Culver's Butterburgers Player of the Week. The Coach's Pick with Damon Tabor with plaques from Oak Tree Award. And all guests via the Line-X of Bowling Green hotline. And now your host of the Sports Web. Here's Brian Webb.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. A little early today. Nothing wrong with that. But it's kind of like it was 5:30 last week, I guess, right? Yeah,
we're actually kind of late.
We're actually 30 minutes late.
By the time we get out of here, it's going to be dark. So
dude, it'll be dark in the next 2 minutes.
You know.
I mean, what about that, Garrett? You can't see to do anything.
You know what that means when you leave the studio and it turns dark?
How sad is that?
It's
so sad.
It is sad.
It almost makes you want to go home and go to bed.
But it also brings on the memories of basketball.
Playing basketball.
That's the only good part. As soon as I know it's getting dark, once we leave the studios, basketball's on the way.
You know what, G? I think I'm going to start getting into NBA hoops.
I wish you would, because we're going to not be able to talk about baseball much.
I know. No, I could do
you can talk all
I could do off the record trades and stuff. But
yeah, that's what we'll do.
Otherwise it's kind of boring. But I think I'm going to start focusing a little bit more on NBA.
I think
because you want to play it on FanDuel.
Yeah, well, okay.
Absolutely.
All right, you caught me there.
See how good I know you, Lim.
I know, dude.
We got some cross country.
So.
We got some cross country greats right now out of South Warren. I want to take a second here and talk about it.
Tear it up.
They region champions in 5th place. They finished in state meets second time in the last 3 years they've accomplished that. And the team is Haley Best and Taylor Brown and Ainsley Crosby there. Ainsley Graves, that's Coach David Graves, used to coach Hilltoppers Garrett. You remember David?
Yeah.
Great coach, Ole Miss as well. And then Megan Kitchens, Lydia Nathan, Riley Johnson, Brooklyn Wilkins. The boys' regional state qualifiers, Hunter Clemens and Kellen Patterson. Pretty good stuff. Coaches Steve and Lori Eaton. Shout out to them, man. That's always good.
Fantastic.
It's got a great show.
Track's so hard to do.
It's so underappreciated.
It really is.
It's way underappreciated.
How much work these kids have to put into doing that week after week, day after day, morning, nights. I mean,
you know what's great though? If they go to basic training, let's say they go to the Army.
Oh
Forces,
man, they'll kill
they're
them.
just running. Everybody's like over there hopping up a wall. Yeah, you will not be a Navy SEAL.
People talk about golf being like a really mental sport. I mean, can you imagine like cross country and track how much mental capacity that takes to compete at a high level?
That capacity
Mind over matter.
That is insane. I quit after I start breathing a little heavy. 10 steps into my run.
It feels like Braveheart just shoved a sword in my side when I run more than 100 yards.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great shout out.
Yeah. Oh no, it's cool stuff. I'm glad to hear that, and I'm glad to shout it out. Man, we got Kobe Martin on today. Awesome. 4 touchdowns. I quoted him as 3, but he let me know, hey, I have 4. It's not a big deal. I said,
Get your stats right, brother.
It's 4 touchdowns. Well, I better say it right.
Yeah,
looking forward to that. Vegas Frank, Hunter Smith's going to hang out with us. Even Chris Allen makes a cameo. But right now I got my boys, G-Man and the Lim. Lim, did we finish up the series, or that happened after last week?
No. We're going. Him and I called it. We called it correctly.
You did call it.
You know, they pitched Strasburg on Game 6. He came out and threw an 8 1/3 gem, and then here comes Mad Max. That's all they needed, and him and I called it.
I'm still on that conspiracy theory. He would have been healthy for Game 5.
I think he could have gone in a minute. But
and they've said wash. And I think one thing they didn't guarantee when they went into Game 7 was Zach Greinke throwing a one-hitter into the 7th inning. Of course, he ended up giving up a run, and they took him out, and that's when the Nationals ended up taking the lead on the next pitcher. But still, I mean, he pitched an absolute gem.
Yeah, he absolutely did. But, you know, it's so crazy about watching Zach Greinke pitch. His off-speed stuff, he can throw a 69-mile-an-hour curveball.
It's frustrating.
It is sick.
For a fan that's never swung the bat, I'm sitting there. I'm like, it's 69 miles. Just hit it.
No,
but I know in the back of my head that is
Hit yourself in
impossible.
the head with a bat trying to chase
No,
that.
you can't hit that. But 69 miles. He had a bet with another. The pitcher I can't think of off the head, but he could throw. And it was one of the better curveball pitchers. He says, I could throw the slowest curveball, and they had it out, and Greinke threw a 69, and the other guy threw a 70. That was the lowest.
Yeah, they're right on each other.
And I mean, that's crazy.
And we have to talk about AJ Finch, his decision in Game 7. He said everybody's available for Game 7. We hear that from all the managers most of the time when it comes to Game 7.
Where's Garrett Cole?
Well, the weird part about that was in inning number 5, I think Greinke, I can't remember if he walked somebody or something like that. He got into a little bit of trouble for a second, and they got Cole up and moving, just stretching and tossing. And then 2 innings later, when Greinke gets in trouble, they just leave Garrett Cole sitting down. And my question is, why did they even get him up? Is it just a mind thing?
It was a mind thing. They're looking. A lot of these guys are going to look over in the bullpen and see who's trying who they may face. But it was just a total mind deal. And you know what? He was basically unemployed at that time.
Yeah.
Because he won't be back there, and which is terrible for them, but it would cost them a fortune. They'd go well over the cap if they tried to keep Garrett Cole, because he's definitely going to win the Cy Young Award. And I was just a little bit off on the MVP with Strasburg winning, but my guy finished right second, and Bregman would have been right there if Houston would have won. So,
well, and then I think all the awards after the season are for regular season play, which is the same in the NBA as well with the MVP award.
Yep.
But if we were given the MVP right now, is there any question for the season? It's Anthony Rendon, playoffs included.
There's no question about it. Rendon, I thought would win the MVP, but he didn't. Strasburg won it, but he was the tight second. But Rendon should win the MVP for the NL and AL. That's going to be really kind of tight. It may not even be anybody out of Houston, but if I'd give it to anybody, I'd give it to Altuve. So
I like it. Hey, listen, we're up against the break, but before we do that, to finish up this week's discussion of the World Series, put just a regular grading scale, A, B, C, D, F, just like in high school. What would you put a stamp on this series? And then the second part of that question, what would you put on your stamp for this actual season of Major League Baseball?
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have to give this an A- for the whole year.
Stole my grade.
Sorry, buddy, but just because Washington, they looked like the NL champs on paper, but in May when you're 19 games behind and have to trudge up the hill, and they've won some great ball games going down the stretch, which you always take that hot team. I was a little disappointed with Atlanta, because I really thought they might have gone, or the Los Angeles Dodgers. I knew the whole time it was going to run through Houston personally, but Yankees, they still have a long ways to go with pitching, and the Boston Red Sox were out of it for a long, long time before even the break. So, I mean, Cleveland just an afterthought to me, because they get injured too much. But I'm going to put an A- on the season. It was terrific, a lot of fun to watch, but it is what it is, and it was a good season and a lot of fun to watch.
Here comes the off season.
Who's coming back? Brian Webb, Garrett Browning, and the Limb. Don't go anywhere. Sports Web, 102.7, 104 The Score.
It's not luxury, it's fuel. And at Southern States, we know that when the temperature drops, the water needs heating. Or when it's dinner time, you need to know your tank is full. Count on Southern States to be your local propane supplier. Call today for a fill-up. Have a competitor's tank? No problem. Southern States offers a tank swap out at no cost to you. Call Southern States Co-op in Bowling Green, Franklin, and Russellville today and talk to them about taking care of your propane, heating oil, or diesel fuel for your home, farm, or business. Because empty is never an option.
The home you've dreamed of is coming to life now at Northridge Subdivision off Mormon Lane in Bowling Green. New phases opening now, new homes under construction, and another development coming from J. Allen Builders. Imagine you and your family in an affordably priced home starting in the 150s. Homeowners Association and family friendly. A Northridge Subdivision's home from J. Allen Builders Development could be your perfect first home. Call now for more information, 270-781-5023.
Man, that looks rough. That one got whacked good.
Yeah, I do know I'm getting sick of cleaning it up.
But it's all about the pay in the long run, right?
Yeah, you're right, but it'd be easier the quicker the gloss and take us to Line X of Bowling Green.
Well, in the end, it's all about getting those hogs delivered, right?
You're right, but it sure is a mess. Forget about it.
Keep your bed easy to clean with Line-X of Bowling Green. Truck accessories and more. Line-X of Bowling Green on Louisville Road, Porter Pike intersection.
2020 sounds good at Luxury Imports of Bowling Green. Whether it's a Mercedes-Benz or a BMW, hear the engine on a test drive and you'll pick up a roaring 20 for yourself. Or maybe one of the last 18s and 19s with special deals and financing to close out the year. Everyone has a dream car, now bring it home. If Luxury Imports doesn't have your new or pre-owned BMW or Mercedes on the lot, management will find it and bring it. Be free to BG. Luxury Imports of Bowling Green, 325 Three Springs Road, online at luxuryimportsofbowlinggreen.com.
Election Day. Hope you got out there and made yourself known by walking in the booth and taking about 10 seconds.
I would have, brother, but I'm not a Kentucky resident.
Oh, you should have did absentee in Tennessee.
I did that. I do my civic duty.
I should have known that you did your civic duty. You do all your duties.
I try
well,
to.
especially at First Step Orthotics.
Yeah, hey man, we're tearing up toward the end of the year right now, and
10 years, baby.
Yeah, end of 10 years right now, and Jeremy and I are really putting some stuff together, and we're going to see some stuff on YouTube coming up and Facebook with some really outstanding video, and when it comes out, I will let everyone know, and I think we're going to put a float in the parade here for.
Oh, nice! I'm going to be on it.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I
got to work that day. I'm going to get out and run and get
do you want to do
here.
a live feed from our float?
Oh,
brother?
that might be.
I will put you on a throne like on Santa Claus, dude, and I'll dress you up in a Santa Claus suit. But
wouldn't be the first time, dude.
Nah, I know it, but I got one, but I got one. So, but no, yeah, we're tearing it up. We got a couple new hires, and they're all shout out to.
Nice.
Haley and what's my
They're
new
new.
girl?
They're
What's
new.
my new girl?
They're new
I
hires
know it's
there.
hard to. Hey,
It's
new
amazing.
girl.
It's
hey,
amazing.
new girl.
Hey, you new girl.
You're doing a great job.
Pick up
new
that
girl.
blood.
No, no, they're both doing terrific jobs. But
what's that sign say? No fighting.
no bare feet.
No bad feet. Pick up that blood.
Pick up that blood.
Election day, so is this my time to give my super radical viewpoints?
Yes.
No,
Good.
it would be
Rattle
not
it
the
off,
time
brother.
unless it's the National Football League.
Oh, yeah.
What about Matt Moore, man?
I got plenty of
And then
those.
I'd like to thank G for beating me down to the
did he
ground.
hurt you? I don't even know if I won. I didn't even.
I shot my mouth off online on
did.
the group.
You did.
And you know what? Dropped 2 in a row.
It's that karma thing.
Yeah, it
That
is.
happens.
I'm going to be benevolent
time.
from now on. So
You shall.
Matt
You shall
Moore,
be.
yeah, that's
That's a nice win for him.
a big win, and now the Chiefs
He was
are coming.
dropping some dimes. What about Danny Dimes? We'll talk about him in
the
a
next
minute.
person that calls someone Danny Dimes, I'm going to kill.
I actually kind of like the name Danny Dimes
Yeah, but,
because the
you know-
dime is the hardest coin to hold on to.
The thing about
And
it
he
is-
does not hold on to the football very well, so
The
it's a
thing
very
is,
accurate.
He hasn't done
description.
anything yet.
He's not good.
You're not good.
You're not good.
Yes.
You're not
The
good.
Giants aren't very good either.
No,
to
they're
be
not.
fair.
You know.
But I mean,
But you know what? Actually, if you watch that game last night, they were actually in that game.
no, they were in that game forever.
Oh, they were 1 point behind in the third quarter.
And you know, it killed me late in that fourth quarter near the 2-minute warning. They took Saquon Barkley out of the game,
yeah.
down 10. It's like,
What is that?
there's still a chance you score and can go get an
Makes no
onside kick.
sense.
Obviously,
unless
it's
he's hurt, then
There's
we
going
don't
to be
know.
a lot
Unless
of
he
firings
re-injured.
in the NFL within the next 4
Oh,
weeks.
it's going to
And-
get.
we're
Kitchen's
gonna-
the first to go. I bet.
Kitchen's probably. I think Geis should go. I really do.
Oh yeah.
who's that? I'm sorry.
Geis, I think.
Oh.
Or not? Excuse me.
Gase.
Geis.
I knew what you meant.
Geis.
He should have been
baby.
gone a
trying to
long
think.
time ago. He should have never got the job.
Yeah, the only thing his redeeming savior is Peyton Manning because he had him for a year. That's the only thing that he's done.
Did you see Peyton place the other day? Did you see it?
No, I haven't.
No.
I'm not an
All right, I won't bring
ESPN
it up
Plus
if you haven't
guy.
watched it.
But the one thing that kills me about
That's too bad, Garrett.
Well, tell me about Peyton's Places now. Now I'm stuck on Peyton's
let's tell
Places.
you.
I forgot my point originally.
Well,
Thanks a lot.
oh, sorry, G.
No, but Danny Dimes, the Giants, Adam Gase, football.
Football.
That's where I was going with that.
No, it was good. Sorry to interrupt you, buddy. Man, I tell you, I don't know. There's not much to take out of the NFL. I'm sure me and Frank will touch on it later during Against the Odds. But I don't know. It's one of those things to where we're in that weird part of the season, you know, where it's kind of like
we got 2
more
more weeks.
weird part.
We got 2 weeks of the bye weeks, and then we're done. You know, I'm so sick of the bye weeks, and I'm glad the London games are over. You know, those are pathetic.
Dude, did you see today the Chargers may be going to London?
The guy came out and said there's no.
Oh, I didn't see the retraction. Okay,
he's
good.
going to Vegas, dude.
Yeah, well,
no, they're not going to Vegas.
Raiders are going to Vegas.
They should have gone to. What I don't understand
about
a
chance to go to Vegas.
Well, yeah, what I don't understand
have,
is the Raiders actually have a fan base
I
and
don't
can
know
make
that they
money.
really do.
I don't know. They have a pretty.
I mean, I don't know why they ever left.
They had an old. They didn't have a stadium in Oakland. Was one of the. They're playing on a baseball field
and it's
for one.
It's a broken
Been that
down.
way for years.
But then you're sending them to Las Vegas for a new fan base when really it's one of the oldest franchises. They don't need a new fan base. The Chargers need a new fan base.
The Raiders will never need help with a fan base. Their fan base is all over the place. Just like the Cowboys.
You know, you always like to look in the crowd for Raider fans.
They're always there.
They're always ugly, nasty looking.
Oh, Danny!
With the spike here. I love that stuff. No,
that's what you want.
Look bad with the black and silver.
Dude, that was actually one of the first Titans games I went to, and I was very surprised by what I saw from some of the silver and black there.
Have you seen? You remember the end of Weird Science?
Yeah.
All right, you know when the part Weird Science in your heart and in your hand. Anyways, at the end of it, the party after the party, everything's destroyed. That's what that reminds me.
The bikers came in.
Yes, and at the end of it, they're all like, "Hey, we'll do lunch. I'm a teacher in Santa Fe.
Exactly.
We'll do lunch." That's what that reminds me of.
Don't
Guess
tell
what?
anybody I'm a teacher.
I remembered my point.
Yeah, don't tell anybody. Well, let's.
I hate when in the NFL they hire a new coach for a second-year quarterback that got drafted by the previous regime.
Brutal.
It seems like it never really works.
No.
You know. Bringing in and you want to bring in your quarterback whisperer. Well, who knows if he even likes that guy? Yeah. Adam Gase, obviously, he must have liked Darno enough to take the job. You feel like, but you know, there are probably other guys later in that draft that he wishes he could be working with right now.
But I think Darno has definitely a lot of good skills. I mean, you watch the game against Dallas for one. What a great game he threw. He did not himself. Did he throw a pick the other day? No. They just didn't move the ball very much, but he never threw a pick.
You kind of got to pinch yourself to remind you that the Cowboys lost to the Jets. That's the Jets' win on the season.
Yeah. Enough about that. All right? We got time. We got time for one more hot take. And what I'm going to come out of the gate with is down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. The Patriots are human and been figured out by the Ravens. Man, that Lamar Jackson, is he not changing football?
Yeah, but you know what? I like you're getting me all wrong. Lamar Jackson, but you know what? He still has those spotty games, though. He's young. He's not. I tell you, I'm going to give him a little comparison to Michael Vick.
Yeah, he's a
Michael Vick-like runner, but he throws like.
Willie Mays Hayes.
You know what?
About 90 feet.
You know what's a really surprising stat about Lamar Jackson that I learned during that game? He has 160 pass attempts in the pocket. He
wants to be a pocket passer.
He had less than 30 going into that game against the Patriots. And for those that just kind of watch from the outside,
that's how you gotta beat the Patriots.
You would assume that ratio is nowhere close.
Well, the thing about it,
he is a pocket passer.
Yeah, he is actually a pocket back because Patriots rush from the far ends in. They're going to try to contain. He's not going to be able to run out, either right or left and just chuck it to everyone. It's like Andrews. I have Andrews tied in. I said he's not going to have a very good game at all because he can't dump it off to someone like Ingram, But
Mark Andrews, he got a touch, didn't he? Did he get a score?
No.
I thought he had a score.
5 points. It's a big deal. So,
no. Did it cost you your game?
No,
I
won.
Didn't cost you the game?
You
lost anyway.
I won 2 out of 3, and the only one I lost to was I went in the same room with the guy, but, it's all right.
With Garrett,
Bob Barker's team.
He probably didn't even set his lineup and beat you.
I have that optimized thing on. I like that on the NFL
No, that's a good
app.
feature.
Yeah, that's for lazy guys.
I forget sometimes.
Dude.
I at least have optimized
Study. Come on.
I'm an auto draft guy.
What do you have going today? Study.
It's great stuff.
My eyes are my study.
I think
you're watching NBA hoops too much.
I think Dowdy's going to hang out with us next week, which will be cool. We're going to recap that Arkansas game. Yours truly, Danny, going to be down on the sidelines, and I might run into Jerry Jones this weekend. That would be cool,
dude. That'd be awesome.
I got touch his face.
He'll be the first sideline man ever to be tackled by security on the field.
I would actually love to be that. My icebreaker story somewhere to convention.
There you go, exactly.
What's the craziest thing ever happened to you? Jerry Jones
beat
me
your
up
finger
once.
Goes right in the hole.
I was getting ready to say. I wanted to see if there's it's like Skeletor.
If it
when you just pull his face and it just all falls off.
He-Man.
Man at Arms. Oh, it's so funny. Garrett's he just totally drowned it out. He knows nothing about late 70s, early 80s cartoons.
I am out of it. I'm sorry.
Grape Ape. He wouldn't know what that is. Grape Ape. Oh, we've had a good time, and we're having some more fun. Vegas Frank coming up right after the break, and then we'll hear from Kobe Martin, great little running backs, just a sophomore, Garrett. This guy, we're going to see a lot more of him. Can you imagine when that team's seniors with Veldkamp? I mean, it's going to be insane.
I feel like we say that every season with Southmore.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, they got that Lacey kid. He's a sophomore, and all of a sudden he grows up.
Now he's at Notre Dame.
Now it's Veldkamp.
He got a little bit of a injury, but I think he's okay.
Yeah, I heard that, and I saw him actually 2 weeks ago on the field. And
he looks so good. He's in his element.
That guy is a wall.
He is. We'll see him. We're going to watch him on Sundays.
I'm looking forward to see what he goes in the draft here in a few years, and he may not have to even finish to go to the draft.
After the show, Danny, don't forget, stick around for the Tops, Hilltoppers double header tonight, double action. Going to be having fun with that. Garrett, appreciate you, man.
We're out of here.
102.7, 104 The Score.
How much were your heating costs last winter? I'm sure too much. Mike Keith here to tell you how to heat your home for just $600 a year. Trust the experts at Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill to transform your old fireplace into a stunning source of heat with brand names such as Yodel, Fireplace Extraordinaire, Avalon, and Lopi, the Cadillac of fireplaces. Lopi's Cape Cod is the world's cleanest burning wood stove with unbelievable hybrid fire technology. Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill, just off the bridge on Old Louisville Road. BowlingGreenFireplace.com.
Okay, I'm on 65 right now. Which exit do I take?
You're going to want to take I-165.
No, I'm on I-65.
No, take I-165. Should be on the sign.
I'm pretty sure that's not a 1 there. I'm pretty sure that's just another I. I-65?
Aye. Well, ahoy, Polloy.
Look, I'm looking at it. I just don't see a 1 there. It's just I-6.
Suffering from post-natural confusion? See Gary Force Paint and Body Shop. iCar Gold Shop, certified with a lifetime warranty. 311 Vanderbilt Drive behind the Scottsville Road Post Office. The U.S. Army is offering up to $65,000 in student loan reimbursement as a new enlistment incentive. The program is available for nearly 50 different occupations, covering both full-time and part-time careers in the U.S. Army and Army Reserve. The total amount of loan reimbursement varies depending on the length of the individual's enlistment contract. For more information, talk to your local Army recruiter or check us out online at www.goarmy.com.
This is a Morgan & Morgan consumer message.
When a client comes to our firm after an accident, we have the awesome responsibility of returning what was taken away from them. Loss of income and earning potential, past and future medical bills, pain and suffering, the loss of the enjoyment of life. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Our clients don't seek charity, they seek justice. They're looking to have their life back and property restored. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about your legal rights. Offices Bowling Green.
Hello, Vegas. Give me $100 on red.
$200.
Hello, Vegas. Give me $100 on red.
$200 in chips, please.
Are you a professional?
What's your bet, sir?
Bet.
Hit me.
It's a bust.
Whoa! I am on fire.
Oh, he's good. He's good.
You're a winner!
Against the Odds with Vegas Frank is brought to you by JBK Network Consulting. JBK Network Consulting. We are IP everything. Working with complex organizations to achieve measurable business outcomes is what we do. Let Jim Grant and JBK Network Consulting go to work for you. Call 270-796-8935. Visit JBK Network Consulting at 1143 Fairway Place, Suite 105, and online at jbk.net.
Back to Vegas Frank against the odds. I got him on the Linex hotline. Linex Badliners. Roger Gina, get over there and let them take care of the bed of your truck. Louisville Road, Porter Pike intersection. Always doing great things. Great couple over there. Great family-owned business. Another great guy on the line. But, hey, before that, Frank, I got some news for you, buddy. You ready?
I'm ready.
I got my buddy Hunter Smith hanging out with me from WBKO, my co-host on Sunday Night Sport Connection, man. I'm excited to have him on. Welcome in.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, buddy. You're getting ready to talk to the one and only Vegas Frank. Frank, big weekend in the NFL, man. Let's start there at the top. What'd you see? What'd you think about the Patriots going down?
Well, this is kind of what we've been waiting for. The Patriots, who really haven't played anyone, going into this game against the Ravens. Ravens were able to kind of just impose their will. Ran the ball pretty well. Lamar Jackson, they went in with a game plan. He was able to do what he thought he could do. And, the guy kind of looked like a Neo or something from the Matrix, kind of running through people or something. I don't know what was going on. But there were some sequences there where I thought he was going to be tackled. He was just kind of like running by people or running through them. It was bizarre, but they were able to impose their will, and the Ravens looked really good. We're going to see how the Patriots fare the next few weeks because they'll be playing the Cowboys. They'll play the Chiefs in a few weeks. We're assuming that Mahomes will be back by then. So this is going to be an interesting few weeks for the Patriots. The schedule is obviously going to get tougher.
Well, Hunter's a Patriots fan, so that's fun. It's funny watching his facial expressions while you're telling us that. Man, I tell you, that defense for the Patriots looked mortal last night, and that's what Lamar Jackson will do to you, right?
No, absolutely. He's kind of like he's a video game. He's just like it's ridiculous. He's a reimagined version of Michael Vick. I'd say a more patient in the pocket version of Michael Vick.
I can go with that.
I like Lamar Jackson a lot. I really like his poise. He put himself now in the MVP conversation.
Oh yeah.
No, I agree. He played absolutely phenomenal.
Frank.
Yeah, he's made major strides from last year to this year. He's played really well.
Well, and I think the Ravens have done a good job surrounding him with a lot of really good weapons.
No, you're absolutely right. Adding Earl Thomas to the defense, it's kind of like your quarterback leader on the field in the defense. The Ravens have had like a history of having that one 10-pole type guy to kind of lead them, and they're kind of looking for leaders in the locker room on and off the field, and Earl Thomas has kind of filled that role for them. But a lot of talent on the defensive side of the ball, and they're going to be a real tough out come playoff time.
Man, I totally agree. Anything else coming out of the NFL? Either one of you guys want to touch on that you may have saw? And
well, just touching on going back to the Patriots game. I think this is their defense, like you said, looked mortal, but also if you look at Bill Belichick's track record with teams he faces twice in a season, so potentially in the playoffs.
Oh yeah,
I wouldn't get too worried.
That's a good point, Frank.
Well, I don't think that's even that'll even be a problem going forward because, like you said, he develops a game plan. The guy is Yoda. His track record, his record proves it that when he plays the team the second time, there's obvious adjustments. But I think that it kind of let them know there's a little, not a check engine light, but there might be the sign of a check engine light about to come on. They've got to get that run defense shored up. It's not an issue of they knew what they were going into this game, what Lamar Jackson could do, and they still really weren't able to stop the run. So it's going to be an issue going forward if a team that's able to establish the run early. I don't know. I'm still a little leery. I would never count out Belichick and Brady ever.
Never.
But I'm still a little concerned.
Man, the Top's got a big one coming up. Nothing conference swaying, but I tell you what, a big game nonetheless. Simply from coming off two losses. One of them, I can understand with Marshall, but man, I cannot understand that FAU loss. Scratching my head about it.
But we get to go down to Fayetteville, man, and what a way to turn the frowns upside down, Frank. And we can go in there and get an Arkansas win, man. Big SEC team. They're not so big this year.
Well, I'm wondering if when I'm watching on TV, are you gonna like wave or something, or are we just gonna get? Are we gonna get the traditional like "Hi, Mom"? Are you gonna wear a bright red blazer when you're on the field? I mean,
I wish I had
what's
one.
the look exactly?
Look, here's the only thing I can tell you distinctively that you can pick me out at the CBS broadcast, and I won't be on that broadcast. I'll be on the Sam 100.7 broadcast, but I'm sure you'll see me. I'll be out there for the coin toss. I'll be wearing. We call it toboggans. I was corrected back in Vegas years ago when I was wearing one outside of Morton's. I was told, no, that's a beanie. But I've got a big red WKU beanie with the big old snowball on the top. And then you know the shape of my unshapely body, so you'll be able to pick me out.
Hey, dad bod, 100%. I understand. I'm right there with you. I love it. Come on, just embrace it. Just accept it.
Whatever Grimace is, that's the family tree I must come from. That's my shape. I don't know. What do you think's going to happen in this one? What's the line? Hunter and I, we'd like to kind of give us a pick here, and we'll go off your lines that are current.
Currently. The total is about 47.5, 48. The total is going to creep up a little bit. The line right now is Arkansas minus 2.5. Basically, that's based off it being a road game, them being an SEC team. That's it.
I didn't touch on my Cowboys' big win last night. It's not that big. The Giants are not very good, but it was nice to say something about it. But there's some spin off of that conversation because Hunter, you got a little tidbit for us about the old Jerry Jones down there. What's going on? How's he got a tie to Arkansas other than playing there?
Well, his grandson is playing there now, and it looks like he's going to be starting against Western.
Oh, D'Angelo Malone going to feast.
I mean, I think that's going to be crucial to really mix up a lot of looks and confuse a young quarterback. Check in and out of blitzes to where he thinks, hey, someone's coming, and then you drop a guy back, or you think there's going to be someone back in coverage and you bring an extra guy. So I think really trying to confuse a young quarterback is going to be big in this one.
And I think, too, going right off what you said, this is a first start for him, but he gets to play in the confines at home. He has some familiarity, so he's going to have a certain comfort level being able to play in front of a home crowd, and they're going to be excited for him because this is a home game and his first start. Yeah, that's going to bode well, but I think Western's defense ultimately is going to be able to dictate the pace there, and, as we get some consistent play from Story, I like Western in this.
Man, I tell you, I love the little tidbit there, but I'm just realized, am I going to seriously be in the arena while Jerry Jones' grandson gets his first start as a Razorback? That's pretty cool. And do you think Jerry Jones will be down on the sidelines for the Razorbacks helping coach?
He comes out of the box, and he's just going to go down there next to the coach. You got to get it. Listen, if you're going to have the blazer or the beanie or toboggan or whatever, the snowball, you got to sit down with Jerry Jones like a one-on-one.
That would be awesome.
ESPN radio exclusive.
Yeah,
you can bump Vegas Frank next week. You got to get Jerry Jones on the radio. You got to get him down there.
JBK Network Consulting would not approve of that.
Ask him how long he's going to stick with Jason Garrett.
Yeah, really. That's the question. As long as Jason Garrett keeps shoving platitudes up his brain, I would say, whatever Garrett does for him, I don't know. But obviously it's giving him job security for some ungoodnessly reason. I don't get it, man. I don't
know. No, nobody does.
Nobody can figure that one out. It's like a Rubik's Cube. You just can't figure it out. Frank, let's talk a little bit about, first of all, we got the Hilltoppers coming in. Any other college football you guys, any big games you want to highlight?
I was just talking about the game this weekend as far as 1 versus 2, Bama and LSU. It's going to be great. I'm really excited to see this. Don't know if Tua's going to be playing or not. It sounds like they're going to wait till the last possible second to announce whether or not he's going to be playing. I think we'll see him on the field in some capacity. Don't know how much he's going to play. They're going to be careful about his ankle. We'll see how he responds. But Joe Burrow's having a special year. This is going to be a fun game.
What do you guys think about the Heisman race? Has it moved around a little bit? Has it shuffled a little bit since the Tua injury?
I wouldn't say it shuffled too much because while Tua has been in the mix, I wouldn't say he's necessarily been the feature guy.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I don't think he's been the guy that the people have been zeroing in on. I'd say a few weeks ago it was probably Field, and he's lost a little bit of that hype. I would say that it's probably Burrow. I mean, and it's funny is that, like, if you were listening to any of that SEC media stuff, Feinbaum was talking about it yesterday, that if SEC media stuff months ago, somebody said that Burrow was the third or fourth best quarterback in the SEC, and he was being laughed at. And now we're looking at Burrow as being like the first or second best quarterback in the country. Like Joe Burrow says himself, he goes, Joe Burrow is football. He's been so fun to watch. I don't really know how to compare him to a quarterback in the NFL. I don't want to really put that on him yet as far as comparisons, but I mean, he's so poised and he's so fun to watch. I mean, this game's going to be great, and I'm really excited to see what happens, how the playoffs start to shape. We're going to find out playoff rankings shortly, first college football playoff rankings shortly.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Good points there, both of you made. Hey, listen, we got college basketball getting started. It's crazy. It's that time of year, Frank. You know, it's when you're under the ether. I mean, you don't know, your head's on a swivel. You don't know which thing to look at because there's just so much out there. Hunter, I'm sure you go through the same thing. Plethora of information, especially for guys that are in our business. But hey, tonight we got the men's and women's. We got Tennessee Tech. You'll be over there, Hunter, and doing some pregame stuff on BKO there for 6 o'clock. Check him out tonight. Frank, we're going to move past that a little bit and just kind of talk about, I mean, right now Michigan State is the favorite to win it all.
Yeah, they're definitely the mix, and we have they do this Champions Classic every year. That's going to be taking place tonight. Michigan State will be playing the Wildcat, Kentucky, and then Duke's going to be playing Kansas. They always sort of have these four schools
basically
featured, basically franchises. They get featured in this Champions Classic. It's sort of like a round robin thing that they play every season. They mix up these different matchups between the four teams. And it's really there's more pro scouts that attend these games, these Champion Classic games, more so than, even Summer League or the tournament or whatever you want to call it. These guys are always looking at this more than the combine, not Summer League, excuse me. These guys are looking at these players and trying to find out, who's going to be that next star that they can draft. These are games where these guys are really showcased. We'll see how these guys start to get some separation, but I mean, you have two matchups and all these guys all these teams are in the top five. So this is going to be fun. These are going to be teams that we're definitely going to be talking about as far as being in the Final Four.
Oh, yeah, Kansas has always talked about being in the Final Four, but do they ever reach the Final Four?
It's a good point. Good bet against team. One tidbit, I think it's pretty cool that Penny Hardaway coaches Memphis, and they've kind of been climbing a little bit on the odds. They're probably going to be a better team this year. And you remember back in the day, Memphis used to be pretty decent around tournament time, so we might see that again in the near future. But we've got the 1 through 7 there: Michigan State, Kansas, Kentucky, Duke, Louisville. Memphis is setting at 6 there, and then North Carolina 7. I'm sure that'll change a lot after the next 2 weeks. But Devin Booker last night in the NBA dropped 40. Frank, this starting to heat up already early in the NBA season. Suns they're looking pretty good.
No, you're right. The Suns have made major strides. We thought they're going to be a team that's going to develop, in the next couple of years, but Devin Booker's definitely taken a step forward. Mentioned Rubio a little bit last week, just being able to stabilize the point guard position. Solid. And they've got a lot of young studs. This is working out really well for Phoenix. They could be one of those surprise teams.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they're 7 or 8 seed in the West. We don't know. I mean, a lot of games to be played yet, but they look good early on.
That's the way it's looking right now, barring injuries or anything. I think you're right. I think they'll be down there. Who's your NBA team, Hunter?
Oh, Brian, come on.
Spurs.
San Antonio, born and raised, countdown
Ginobili,
city.
number one, his favorite player. Frank, I can't remember who your favorite player was. Maybe MJ. Who was it?
My favorite player is Magic.
Yeah, Magic. It is Magic. Everybody loves Magic, too. That's pretty, of course, I'm a Larry Bird guy, you know that. But love Magic. We've met Magic many times. I was talking about it on air with Hunter the other night, how big he is. You just don't realize how big. Magic's a big guy, isn't he, Frank?
Oh, he's huge.
He is huge. Super nice, though. Well, right now, if you had to say NBA Finals, who's in there right now?
Lakers, Sixers.
Oh, I like it. What about you?
If I pick right now, Lakers, Sixers. I just think that for the Lakers, it's the experience with LeBron, and I think that just based off of matchups, They got it. I mean, they're going to have to help their perimeter defense a little bit. Playing really well right now, but time will tell.
I go with the Clippers in the West. I don't really trust Anthony Davis staying healthy the whole season. Because I think when Anthony Davis is healthy, he's a force to be reckoned with. But he hasn't been able to stay healthy for most of his career, or at least a portion of his career.
No, I tend to agree with you. Your number one ability is availability, and if you can't produce and be there night in, night out, you're right. Well, they get into this whole time management thing where the load management, whatever that is, I don't know. These guys have tried to reinvent things. When I used to watch basketball, everybody just played. You just played the schedule, but now they're trying to manage minutes because they're like, oh well, they're not playing anybody that good, so we'll just sit him. Well, it's bizarre.
Well, I think it's funny. Just every time LeBron takes a game off, people want to criticize him. But I'm over here again. I grew up watching San Antonio, and that's how they were able to keep their big three playing for so long. Was they managed their minutes throughout the season. So I'm all for it. To be completely honest.
No, hey, everybody's got their own theories and strategies. The Spurs are very successful and been very successful over the course of Popovich being there is because of their system. And the players buy into the system, and they manage. And like you said, they manage their minutes and they manage their players very well. But it's a system that Popovich preaches. All the extra passing and everything. These guys, night in, night out, they don't care who is featured. They don't care who produces. It's a different concept. It's a team concept,
and that's why you get there late in the season with that strategy for sure.
Is Golden State going to make the playoffs?
Yeah, I doubt it. Did you hear that, Frank?
I don't know about that. Yeah.
Ouch. Yeah, that's they'll figure something out here. Kerr's going to figure something out.
I don't know. I never really bought into the Kerr being that great of a coach. I think he was a great assembler of talent. But now the talent is hurt or gone. So
that happens.
This is going to really be his test to show how good of a coach he is.
That's a great.
No,
point.
I tend to agree with you. I think that another factor too is that we can't even name the starting lineup of the Warriors right now.
That's true. Nobody knows.
They've got a lot of people being hurt. I mean, Draymond's out, Steph's out, Clay's out. I mean, these guys are, they've got guys that are featured. Willie Cauley-Stein played last night, significant minutes. I didn't even know I forgot he was playing with the Warriors.
I thought he was working at Foot Locker. I didn't know. Good stuff, man. We got to wrap it up with some MMA.
You saw King Trump. He was at the game. And, Rock brought out the title. It was very bizarre, but it was totally New York. And they got to the end of the fight, and they end the fight because of a cut over Diaz's eye. The guy has had significant scar tissue that he's had surgeries to remove some of the scar tissue before. Cut opened up in the first round, and in between the third and fourth round, doctors decided that he couldn't continue because of the cut that was on his eyebrow over his right eye, and ultimately they called the fight. I'll tell you right now, if that fight was taking place in Las Vegas, they would not have called the fight, because you and I both know, Mush, that if we had seen fights back in the day, we saw boxing matches and MMA fights where these guys' faces looked like hamburgers.
They had to prop them up.
And they would just prop them up.
They just prop them up.
And in New York, they don't do that. They call the fight.
They got soft up there.
They checked him. He wouldn't stop bleeding. He stood there, and his eye kept bleeding, and he wasn't even fighting yet. It was in between the round, and they said, we got to call it.
It reminds me of Step Brothers when they try to put the bunk beds together, and he gets the cut right there. That's what it reminds me of.
Hey, can I interrupt this show?
Hey, Chris Allen, say hello to Vegas Frank. Say hello, Vegas Frank.
Hello, Vegas Frank.
Oh, that's great.
Hey, how you doing?
He says, how you doing over there, Chris?
Yeah.
He said, come out and see him.
You guys are doing a great job, by the way.
Oh, thank you, man. Sunday nights, we're having fun with it.
Yeah.
We're having fun with it. Thank you for saying so, my man. We appreciate you sticking your head in.
Is Hunter giving you any trouble?
No, man.
Whoa. Back him up a little bit.
If I get out of line, he gives me a good look. I know when to back off.
Have I ever been a troublemaker? Since you've known me, at least.
You're on air, by the way.
Not yet. I'll leave you guys alone because I know very little about sports.
Well, you could pull it off if you needed to. Chris Allen, everybody. Know the weather before it knows you. Man, I appreciate it. We're going to have to lock it up there. Did you have a final thought for us, Frank?
No, we're just looking forward to this Championships Classic, the game this weekend between LSU and Bama. It's going to tell a lot as far as rankings, and the loser of this game is not out of the college football playoff.
What's the line on that one?
Well, they're still deciding because they don't know if Tua's going to play.
Oh, yeah.
But what I've seen is Bama -3.
Hunter, you got some closing thoughts, man? First time with Vegas,
Well,
Frank.
just touching on the playoffs, I'm curious because everyone after Oklahoma lost to Kansas State, they're thinking, oh, well, the Big 12 is completely out, and I'm still thinking a one-loss Big 12 Oklahoma gets into the playoff.
I still think I agree with you. It's for their resume. If they win out, they're definitely going to still be in the conversation because Georgia is essentially eliminated because of this LSU and Bama, because of how they're ranked, where they're ranked now. I think they kind of push Georgia out. So it could be a one-loss Bama or LSU and a one-loss Oklahoma could both be in the playoff. You're absolutely right.
Good stuff. Thanks to Hunter Smith stopping by, hanging out with us today against the odds, and appreciate you, Vegas Frank, and JBK Network Consulting, man. We'll hook up next Tuesday. Maybe Hunter will come back and hang out.
Love to.
All right, good talking to you. Good to talk to you, Hunter.
Good talking to you, too.
All right, don't go anywhere. We'll come back with the Culver's High School Football Player of the Week, and coming up right after my broadcast, we can hook up with the Lady Tops out of Diddle Arena. Don't go anywhere. Sports Web 102.7, 104 The Score.
It's time for the Culver's High School Football Player of the Week. Visit Culver's at 4903 Scottsville Road for some delicious burgers.
Culver's High School Football Player of the Week. Man, this one's special to me. Been wanting to get out here and see him, but Logan County comes in the other night, 8-1, and he had 82 yards on 13 carries, 3 touchdowns. He's had multiple touchdowns this year, but watched him grow up, seen him play when he was 5th, 6th grade, and he's doing the same stuff at the high school level. Kobe Martin, what's up, man?
Nothing much.
Dude, it's great. I've been sitting here waiting. I thought you guys finished up a little earlier, but I was like, I moved some stuff around. I'm not missing Kobe. So let's talk a little bit about this season and get your thoughts on it, man. I mean, as far as you're concerned, how good of a season have y'all had?
We've had a really good season, in my opinion. I mean, even though we've had one loss, I mean, that's not bad. It happens sometimes.
No, it does. And, that was a tough game. And, you just lost Veldkamp a couple weeks before that. And he's getting healthy. He might be back for the playoffs. That'll be great. But since we brought that up, let's talk about how impressed are you with Mason Willingham's ability to adjust in just a few games?
It's crazy because, at first he really didn't want to be in that situation, and now he's loving it, and you can just tell a big difference.
Yeah, he's not going to want to give it up.
Yeah, I know. Caden might want to be worried.
Yeah, you might have to go battle it out for position. You never know, man. And that's a good problem to have on a team, Kobe. Let's talk about you individually. I mean, when you're running out there, you're just running with a full head of steam. It seems like every snap. How much do you love running the ball?
Oh, it's amazing. I wouldn't want to play any other position.
I wouldn't want to see you anywhere. Maybe corner or something on D, but you'd be a nightmare on D. But I like where you're at, and I think that's where you're going to ride it out all the way through college. And who knows, man? I might be watching you play Sundays. I got a good feeling. I've said that since you were, 7, 8 years old, and we're going to watch him on Sundays. Man, what's your favorite thing about football, though?
Just how we build as brothers. It's not like any other sport.
You got a coach in Brandon Smith who I think that's his modus operandi, if you will. He wants that, and it's paid dividends, man. And I think about the future for you, and you get on a team. You're probably going to miss the way Coach Smith coaches, because there's not a lot of him.
Yeah, he's crazy now when it comes to football, but I mean, I love it. I love being out here every day.
Yeah, that's what you got to be, man. A passion for it. You've had a passion for it. You played a lot of sports, Kobe. Great baseball player as well. If you had to somebody made you pick, I mean, which one would you do for the rest of your life?
I don't know. That's hard. That is really hard. I don't know. It just depends on the day.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's pretty cool to be that good at multiple sports, man. There's Bo Jacksons and those kind of guys out there. It's just what you remind me of. I mean, you just got that. Man, all right, so when you got the headphones in, when you got the headphones in and you're jamming, getting ready, a little pregame in the locker room, what you listening to?
Just rap, not anything else, just like, Gunna, everybody.
Straight rap, baby. Yeah. Let's talk about highlight a few of your teammates, man. Maybe a couple of your old linemen that make some gaps for you. But you create your own holes, Kobe. But do you want to throw some shout-outs?
All my linemen, they deserve all the credit because without them, I don't do anything.
I got an awesome plaque here for you from Culver's and Oak Tree Awards. You can take that home and give it to Candy. I know Mama will like that, and Scooter. I mean, they've been a big part of your athletic career, getting you to and from and just being supportive. Could you have done it without them?
Definitely not, because, how am I going to get to where I need to be?
Oh, it's good stuff, man. It's been great hanging out with you here. And how far do you guys want to take it? Another state champion appearance?
Definitely. That's the goal.
Buddy, listen, it's been great catching up with you and having you on the Sports Web. And I just can't wait to see how far you take this game of football, man.
Thank you.
All right, let's look. There's no Frenchie over there. We'll have to holler at Frenchie over there. We'll be right back on to the Sports Web, ESPN 102.7, 104 The Score.
You're playing golf and you're going to like it.
Time to go home there, ball.
I can make it across.
Well, then do it.
We got all of that. Why didn't you just go home? That's your home. Are you too good for your home? Answer me.
Knock it on. Let her rip.
It's in the hole. By the way, what did Mr. Webb shoot this morning?
It's time for Gary on the Green. Gary on the Green is brought to you by Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill on Old Louisville Road and online at bowlinggreenfireplace.com. Call 270-495-1131.
Welcome back to the Sports Web. Gary on the Green every week, brought to you by Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill, just across the bridge there, Old Louisville Road. Get that fireplace, heat that house up. This guy been heating it up on the circuit in Conference USA this year, coming off a big win in Little Rock. Coach Adam, Gary, what's up?
Not much. Just glad to be in a little off-season time right now, and looking forward to working on some off-season plans.
That's always good when you get a little bit of a break, but I don't think it's a real break other than not having to travel. You're still doing the same stuff every day. I mean, so let's talk a little bit about. First of all, I saw you had some cool putting mat for sale. Why don't you put that out there? Somebody might be listening and want to buy that.
That's right. Yeah. Well, it's already been claimed. It's over. Home down at Kenny Perry's Country Creek.
Oh, so, there you go.
Yeah. So everybody can kind of go check out some new stuff that they've got going on. I hope I didn't do a little spoiler alert right there for them. But
you'll be fine.
But yeah, that was our old indoor facility that we were doing, and now that we've started working on a new indoor facility. Yeah.
I want to come over there and do a Facebook Live and have a little putting contest with somebody, maybe Mary Joyner or something.
Man, it's going to be so cool. It's going to be amazing. We are really, really blessed to have the opportunity to have that to work with this fall.
Well, let me ask you this: for a tip tonight, what would you tell the weekend guy who's playing a little bit? He's got a cart cover. He's planning on playing a little bit this winter. But 15, 20 handicapper. What's a good thing when there's not as many golfers and you can play more? What are some good things during a round to work on?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just good to get out and play this time of year. I mean, it's obviously difficult with golf. If you put the clubs up, you're going to get rusty. But I think this time of year, you'll notice that the golf ball won't travel as far with the temperature dropping. Obviously, with getting some frost, you might see some barrel eyes with the grass kind of going dormant a little bit. But I just kind of preach the short game. I know it's not as much fun as it is to go out and hit long balls on the range. But if you'll spend some time doing some short game stuff off of these kind of muddy, softer lies, it'll really make you a better chipper and putter for the summer.
And when you get in your regular foursome next spring, they're going to be like, man, look at this short game on this guy,
Absolutely, yeah. If you can chip off of dormant or wet, soft conditions, then, gosh, when you get to the spring and the summertime, it's going to be just like a piece of cake. It's going to be so easy because you're used to doing it in difficult practice. So I definitely think that's one of the big things that can help shave some strokes off your handicap.
Night at the Stansbury tonight, Coach Adam Gary. You'll probably be in attendance. Tennessee Tech coming in, not a big competitor, as far as, but, you don't want to look past anybody. But I think these tops are going to show us some magic, especially with Bassett down low and some of these new guys we haven't got to see and some of these great veterans that we now have and a few of these guys. It should be a great season. I think it's going to be 101-68 tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, too. I was going to go 90-70. I think we're good for a 20-point win tonight, but I'm really just looking forward to getting to know some of the new players a little bit more and getting to watch them. Since we've been in season, I'm guilty of not really spending as much time kind of catching up on it, but I'm excited for basketball season. This one's going to be a really fun team to watch for sure.
Oh, it is going to be. You love getting to see, Bassey with Josh Anderson out there and, Hollingsworth, obviously, but this Carson Williams looks really good. Got Cameron Justice, got local guys there, Savage there. I mean, it's looking like we're going to have a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Like you said, you just reeled off the depth that we're going to have this year is going to be tough for Conference USA teams to handle, in my opinion.
All tough as it is to handle the Lady Tops golf team when they roll into town. Adam Gary, man, I appreciate you, Coach, every week, man. Great,
no worries. Thanks
great
for having
season.
me.
Looking forward to spring. I know you are.
Absolutely. I'm ready to get started in January already.
All right, we're turning it over. Diddle Arena, ladies and men's tonight. EA Diddle Arena. Thanks for listening to the Sports Webb. We'll be back next Tuesday. ESPN 102.7, 104 The Score.